Chapter 1. The night Victoria Holloway was out drinking with her boss, Ethan Caldwell, I left the divorce papers on the table and walked out. Signed the papers. After this, we owe each other nothing, she replied instantly when she saw the message. Don't pull this crap on me, it won't work. I was dying anyway. Who cared if it worked or not? But later she would come back, crying, begging for me to take her back. On our wedding anniversary. I wanted to have one last candlelit dinner with my wife, something we hadn't done in a long time. Please get off work on time today. Don't go out for drinks if someone asks. You know your body. Victoria frowned in annoyance, grabbed the shawl I had prepared for her, and left without a word. Victoria and I were practically childhood sweethearts. We got married right after college and have been together for 5 years now. She's now the secretary to the president of the Caldwell Group, while I'm just a run-of-the-mill novelist. My wife makes a 7-figure salary, but the job is incredibly demanding. I've always urged her to quit, but she thinks I'm a control freak trying to kill her dreams and turn her into a housewife. I'm 2 years older than Victoria, and have looked after her since we were kids. She used to tease me, calling me a daddy like boyfriend, but she didn't know that diabetes has a strong genetic component. After seeing her father suffer in agony from the disease every day, and her mother devote all her energy to him, I felt for this neglected child. I always made sure to watch her diet and her schedule. In the beginning, because I gave her the warmth of a family, she was very dependent on me. Sincere, she'd say, "Let's be together forever, okay?" In college, we naturally started dating, but the year she graduated, she collapsed due to kidney failure brought on by her diabetes. I carried her to the hospital. I felt a chill run through me as I looked at the test results. In 22 years, Victoria had become a part of my very being. Tests showed that my kidney was a match for hers. The hospital couldn't find a suitable donor in time, and Victoria's transplant surgery was urgent. Just like that, I went into the operating room with her. Because I wasn't by her side during her recovery, while her senior from college, Ethan Caldwell, watched over her day and night, she accused me of not caring and tried to break up with me several times. If her parents hadn't forced her to marry me, she probably would have never looked at me again. On this anniversary, I decorated the table with her favorite red roses and poured her a glass of the red wine she loved, the same wine I always restricted her from drinking. Chapter 2. The flickering candles dripped wax like tears, their crackling sound mocking me. Around 8 o'clock, I called Victoria. The call connected quickly. "Vicky, it's late. You should come home and get some sleep." The line was filled with the clamor of a party laughter, and the sounds of networking were constant, but I heard a deep, steady breath on the other end. After I spoke, there was a moment of silence. I immediately realized it wasn't Victoria. Who is this? Sincere? It's her boss, Ethan Caldwell. She went up to give a speech and left her phone. "Is there something you need to tell me?" The voice was familiar. I'd heard it from time to time when I called her. And the name Ethan Caldwell was even more familiar, as my wife always spoke of him with high praise. I choked back my words for a moment. "Don't you know it's incredibly rude to answer someone else's phone without permission? She's my secretary. It's perfectly normal for us to use each other's phones. What if we missed out on a huge deal because of your so-called rudeness? Can your politeness make up for millions of dollars?" I pressed my lips together, unable to say a word. After Victoria and I got married, she became increasingly resistant to me touching her things. And because of her mild mysophobia, she hated using items that others had touched. The line went silent for a long time, but he didn't hang up. When Victoria returned, I heard the rustle of fabric as Ethan stood up. From their conversation, I knew they were hugging. "Someone called for you. I saw you weren't here, so I answered. Is that okay?" Victoria's tone dropped. "It's no one important. If I'm not around next time, just hang up." My heart sank. I ended the call and put the phone aside, looking at the wedding ring on my right hand. I thought about how Victoria had never once worn hers, not even on our wedding day. I let out a bitter laugh. I don't know when it started, but Victoria and I had reached a point where we couldn't stand the sight of each other. The food on the table was cold. I made myself a bowl of noodles and went to bed. When I woke up in the middle of the night, I saw Ethan had updated his social media feed. In the video, he was handing Victoria a drink as people around them cheered. I could even hear them planning where to go for the after party. But Victoria knew perfectly well she only had one kidney. These intense, unhealthy habits would kill her sooner or later. Completely disillusioned, I left the divorce papers on the table, abandoning this person who was hell-bent on self-destruction. Chapter 3. Victoria's years of giving me the cold shoulder had taken a huge toll on my mental health. I had also stopped my family from telling her that I was the one who donated my kidney, not wanting to pressure her. Now I was dying from heart and kidney failure. Before I died, all I wanted was to get away from Victoria and spend my final days in peace with my parents. Sign the divorce papers. After this, we owe each other nothing. Her instant reply, "Don't pull this nonsense. It won't work on me. Ladies and gentlemen, the plane is about to take off. Please ensure your seatbelt is securely fastened and your mobile phone is turned off. Thank you, sincere. Where are you now?" Answer me. I scoffed, hung up, and switched my phone to airplane mode. My hand accidentally brushed against my messaging app, opening the pinned chat with Victoria. I scrolled through it against my will. "Don't drink coffee. Remember to drink the water I prepared for you. Let me know if you need more. What do you want for dinner tonight? I bought some healthy groceries. It's good for your kidneys. Don't forget to take your medication. It's 8. Time to come home and rest." The messages were a scattered, endless scroll of my one-sided conversation with her. In the past, she might reply every few days with an "okay, got it," or "you're so annoying, can you stop nagging me all day?" Eventually, she stopped replying at all. I wasn't sure if she had blocked me. When I arrived in the city where we grew up, the scenery was familiar, but the sense of alienation was a chill that seeped into my bones. "Sincere, honey, why are you back by yourself? Where's Victoria?" My mouth opened and closed, but in the end, I couldn't bring myself to tell them we were getting a divorce. After all, in my parents' eyes, I'd given her a kidney. If she divorced me, she'd be less than human. Victoria's father had passed away years ago, and her mother's health hadn't been good lately. My phone rang again. It was Victoria. "I'm not signing anything. Quit while you're ahead and don't make me angry." My mom whispered beside me, "Is that Vicky?" Victoria paused on the other end. "Oh, so you went home. I was wondering where you could have run off to. Say hello to Auntie for me." Before I could say anything, she hung up. My mom looked at me, worried. "Is Vicky angry that you came back? Maybe you should go back to her." "It's fine, Mom. She just told me to say hi to you." Only then did my mom manage a smile. "Oh, good, good. I hope Vicky is doing well too." Seeing my mom's reaction, I felt a pang of guilt. Because I had insisted no one tell Victoria I was her donor, she only thought that I had abandoned her after her surgery and was then forced to marry me by everyone around us. She felt deeply wronged, so she treated my mother, who had been so insistent, with contempt. She grew distant from her own mother as well. All these years I was the only one looking out for both families. Chapter 4. In my room, I lay on the bed and saw the porcelain dolls on the nightstand. There were 2 of them, one black and one white, one large and one small. The black doll held the white one tightly in its arms, as if offering it a unique safe harbor from the world. When we saw them at a street market, Victoria couldn't put them down. "Sincere, look, doesn't this look just like us?" I looked at her gently. "Do you like it? If you do, we'll buy it." But after a moment she lost interest. "Never mind. These 2 are the same size. I want a big one and a small one like you holding me." Because of what she said, I spent nights learning how to make porcelain dolls. On her birthday during our freshman year, I gave them to her as a gift, but just as she untied the ribbon, she saw Ethan Caldwell approaching. She carelessly set the unopened gift aside, but it wasn't stable and crashed to the floor. The black doll shattered into pieces, leaving only the white one intact. Victoria froze when she saw what was on the ground. She seemed to remember something and looked at me with guilt. Ethan stepped forward to smooth things over. Well, breaking something is supposed to be good luck. A good omen. The gift was never truly given. I tried to glue the pieces back together, but the cracks were stark and ugly. It could no longer hold the little white doll in a perfect, seamless embrace. My health deteriorated day by day, my body growing heavier. At first, Victoria didn't bother me. Then, after a few days, she started calling, asking when I was coming back. I ignored her completely and blocked her number. Soon after, a call came from an unknown number. "Sincere, have you had enough of this drama? Are you proud of yourself, seeing Victoria so distracted she can't even work properly?" I sneered. "Isn't this what you wanted? For me to leave on my own? What's the matter now that I'm gone? Her heart isn't with you. I hung up and blocked the number, but I couldn't help opening my social media feed. For several days in a row, I saw posts of Ethan taking Victoria out for extravagant meals, seafood, steaks, and all kinds of alcohol featured in their photos. But Ethan knew perfectly well that Victoria had a kidney transplant and couldn't eat those things. With Ethan by her side, Victoria gradually started smiling again. In a daze, I remembered a time like this before. I had always monitored Victoria's diet, even curbing my own cravings for her sake. But over time, she began to see it not as care, but as one-sided control and manipulation, because I was depriving her of the right to enjoy good food. Even so, I would occasionally take her to try street food and high-calorie treats. Later, I noticed she was getting closer and closer to Ethan, and I had a serious talk with her about it. She insisted they were just close friends and told me not to make baseless accusations. It wasn't until our junior year of college that I grew suspicious when she could barely eat the food I prepared. It turned out she had been sneaking out to eat with Ethan every day. After filling up outside, she naturally had no appetite for my meals. Because of this, the year she graduated, she was diagnosed with severe diabetes, and her kidneys had failed to the point of needing a transplant. And now he was encouraging her to drink and eat recklessly at business functions, even more so than before. Did he think her kidney was made of steel? Do the smart thing and let her go. You're a third-rate novelist whose income is a fraction of hers. What right do you have to keep dragging Victoria down? I glanced at the message and blocked him again. But I figured the president of a major corporation wouldn't be short on phone numbers. Chapter 5. As my health continued to fail, I had no choice but to be hospitalized. My parents sensed something was wrong and grew quieter, spending their days at the hospital with me. My heart struggled with every breath, and my remaining kidney began to protest. One night, as I drifted in and out of sleep, my phone rang again. "Hello, is this Mr. Sincere Thompson?" I was about to curse but stopped myself. Looking at the unfamiliar number, I replied, "Yes, this is he. Mr. Thompson, your wife is experiencing kidney rejection due to an irregular diet, lack of rest, excessive drinking, and not taking her medication on time. Would it be convenient for you to come to the hospital?" My eyes shot open, suddenly wide awake. So Victoria could die too? I just didn't know who would go first, her or me. "I'm sorry, it's not convenient. I'm hospitalized myself." The doctor on their rounds heard my voice and knocked on the door. "Time to rest. Staying up late is bad for your health." I heard an argument on the other end of the line, and then the phone was in Victoria's hands. "Sincere, you might as well just die out there. You disappeared for a month after my first transplant, and now you won't even show up when I'm in the hospital again. I really don't know what my parents ever saw in you." I sighed, shifting in my bed. "Do you want to know why I didn't show up after your transplant?" Ethan hastily cut in. "This is not the time for that nonsense. All I'm asking is, Victoria is in the hospital. Are you coming back or not?" Victoria waited for my answer on the other end. The breathing on both sides grew heavy, as if a conflict was about to erupt. I didn't press the point. "Have you signed the divorce papers?" Victoria was dismissive. "Don't make me hate you, Sincere. If you know what's good for you, you'll come back soon. Otherwise, don't blame me if I actually divorce you." I couldn't believe she still thought I was clinging to her. Was I really that pathetic in the past? Wouldn't it be better if we owed each other nothing? You could go wherever you want, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want, and be with whoever you want. And I, the control freak, would no longer be an eyesore or spoil your fun. What exactly is your problem with getting a divorce? Victoria's breathing was heavy with suppressed rage. "You come back. We'll talk when you get back. Otherwise, nothing is up for discussion." Ethan's voice came through again. "Vicky, maybe you should go get him. It looks like if you don't back down, he's going to keep holding out." "Me go get him? Me back down? Are you kidding? He can come back or not. It'd be better if he just dropped dead out there." It felt like a sledgehammer had struck my heart. The world spun, and my body went limp. I could hear the sounds around me, but I couldn't react at all. Vaguely, I heard commotion in my hospital room, while Victoria's mocking tone and Ethan's insincere, syrupy voice trickled from the phone. The steady beeping was the last thing I remembered. Chapter 6. The heart failure has worsened. Worst case scenario, he'll need a heart and kidney transplant. If his condition stabilizes, we can start with general and medicinal treatment for now. The doctor's cold, grave words reached me as I opened my eyes. My mom looked at the doctor, pleading, "Treat him, we'll do whatever it takes. We'll pay any amount. Doctor, you have to save our Sincere." My dad was silent, but his face was etched with worry and anxiety. Even Victoria's mother, Martha, had shown up at some point. She looked at me with deep pain and guilt in her eyes. A moment later, Martha called Victoria. "Victoria, where are you? Sincere is about to have surgery. You need to come back and be with him." There was a pause, then a scornful laugh from the other end. "Mom, I'm in the hospital too. Why don't you ask Sincere to come here?" "What? You're in the hospital? Is it your kidney? Wait, I'll put Sincere on." Seeing me on the hospital bed, swollen, pale, and forced by the doctors to sit upright, Martha suddenly fell silent. As I actively underwent treatment, my body only grew weaker. My surgery could not be delayed. Before the operation, my mom was still hesitating, wondering if she should donate her kidney to me. I tried to comfort her. "Mom, don't worry. I'm still young. I'll get better." She said hesitantly, "All right. Why don't you play on your phone for a bit? Try to relax." But as soon as I took the phone, I saw a notification about Victoria. The news feed was pushing interviews with her that had been all over the internet for days. She was wearing a blazer that matched Ethan Caldwell's, confidently negotiating a deal with a rival corporation. These two are a match made in heaven. Totally. I heard she's Mr. Caldwell's secretary. A power couple conquering the business world. It's like something out of a novel. It's about time they got together after all these years. Just waiting for the official announcement. Reading this, my chest tightened, and a suffocating feeling grew. My limbs went cold, and my lips turned blue. Because Victoria had never let me meet her colleagues and never wore our wedding ring, very few people knew she was married. And those who did know would make snide remarks, accusing me of caging a bird that was meant to fly high and telling me to get a clue and step aside. Ethan would post one ambiguous video after another on his social media. I had confronted Victoria about it before, but she claimed it was for the company's image, that a united front was necessary to maintain corporate morale and win trust. She said I didn't understand and told me to stay out of it. After I stopped interfering, their suggestive interactions became even more blatant. I scrolled through the images and saw some photos of them in different outfits. Chapter 7. Ethan had his arm around Victoria's slender waist, playing up to the crowd's expectations, while she nestled against him like a delicate bird. My heart felt like it was being squeezed in a vice, and my breathing became more difficult. Cold sweat dripped down my forehead. Just then, my phone rang. My vision blurred as I answered. "Sincere, if you're done with your tantrum, just come back. I admit it, I can't live without you. Without you, I've barely been able to eat these past few days. If you'd just back off a little, I could try to be nicer to you." I wanted to tell her that she couldn't eat because the kidney in her body was overloaded and that I wasn't going to meddle in her life anymore. But what came out was, "Did you sign the divorce papers?" "I won't sign them." "Sincere, how long are you going to be this stubborn? I'm telling you, this is the last time I'm calling you. In the future, even if you beg me, I won't give you a second glance." Though my vision was going black, my mind grew clearer than ever. "Let's get a divorce. Let's stop torturing each other." Victoria cut me off impatiently. "Don't even think about it. You've tortured me for all these years, and now you think you can just walk away. I'm telling you, you will never divorce me in this lifetime. I have a meeting to get to. I don't have time for this nonsense." The line went dead. My hands lost all strength, and the phone fell to the floor with a thud. The shrill beeping of the heart monitor filled the air as I was rushed into the operating room. "Don't be afraid, you're young. The success rate for this surgery is very high. But I never expected that the moment they opened my chest, my heart would stop. The doctors couldn't bring me back. For some reason, my consciousness didn't fade. Instead, I found myself by Victoria's side. Her phone was connected to a large screen, her voice clear as she presented the details of the partnership to the other company. My body was translucent. I couldn't touch anything, and I couldn't move more than 10 feet away from Victoria. A moment later, the image on the screen changed. It was a call from her mother, Martha. An assistant accidentally accepted the call, and the sound was broadcast to the entire room. "Vicky, you have to come back. Your husband, Sincere, is dead." Martha's choked voice was crystal clear for everyone to hear. Victoria was completely blindsided by the news. Forgetting she was in a meeting, she snatched her phone. "Mom, did Sincere put you up to this? I'm in the middle of a meeting. Can you please tell him to stop causing trouble and holding me back?" There was a commotion on the other end, and the people in the room started looking at Victoria strangely. Ethan stepped forward, trying to control the situation. "It's a scam call. Vicky, Sincere had heart failure and kidney failure. When he died, the doctor said he must have suffered some kind of shock. It caused him to become agitated during the surgery, and his heart just stopped. They couldn't save him. Victoria stumbled backward against the large display screen, her face drained of all color. The phone slipped from her hand and clattered to the floor. Chapter 8. Anyway, you should come see him one last time. Sincere's parents are about to take him away. Ethan grabbed Victoria's arm. You can't go. If you leave now, everyone will know you're married. Everything we've worked for all these years will be ruined. Besides, Sincere will do anything to get you back. Don't you remember that time he was supposedly hospitalized when you were on a business trip abroad? You rushed back and he was perfectly fine. As if remembering that incident, Victoria composed herself. I remembered that time. Because I was hiding my condition, she thought I was just trying to control her and keep her close. We had a huge fight. For a while after that, she stayed at Ethan's place, ignoring all my attempts to explain and get her to come home. I understand. The meeting is important. Although she said the meeting was important, Victoria was clearly distracted. Soon after, negative news about the Caldwell group flooded the internet. It was likely the work of Ethan's competitors who seized the opportunity. Both Ethan and Victoria were hit hard. Ethan's involvement with a married woman made the company's senior members question his character, and his position became precarious. Victoria, on the other hand, was subjected to vicious speculation about how she'd climbed the corporate ladder. Words like cheater, seductress, and Jezebel were thrown at her, and suddenly everyone looked at her with suspicion. When she got home, Victoria paced anxiously. A moment later, she dialed my number. Hello, Sincere. A gentle but sad female voice on the other end paused. Is this Victoria? I'm a friend of Sincere's. He's passed away, and I have his phone for now. Is there something I can help you with? Victoria exploded. Why do you have Sincere's phone? Give it back to him. I need to talk to him. You're as unreasonable as ever. He's dead. If you don't believe me, why don't you go die yourself and see? After a moment, my mom's voice came on the line. Oh, it's her. She's not important. If this person calls again, just hang up. No, better yet, block her. The line went dead with a dial tone. No matter how many times Victoria tried to call back, she got a busy signal. That woman was actually my cousin, Chloe. Because I was the only person Victoria had in her life for so long, she was always afraid someone would take me away. She would get agitated whenever anyone else was around me. Over time, I had fewer and fewer people in my life. In the end, she was the only one left. Victoria's face went blank. She staggered as she went to her room to grab her ID and documents, then frantically booked a flight home. But by the time she got there, she had missed her last chance to see me. Chapter 9. Seeing my body being cremated, she went crazy, rushing forward to try and stop the staff. Sincere isn't dead. He's not dead. You're all lying to me. Sincere, get up. Victoria was a disheveled mess. She had run so fast that she'd lost a shoe along the way. My mom, who had been weeping numbly, saw Victoria and marched over, slapping her hard across the face. What are you doing here? Get out, you don't deserve to be here. Victoria's mother shielded her. Please, don't. Hit me instead, it's my fault, I didn't raise her right. Mom, let go, Sincere is still lying in there. If we don't get him out, he'll get burned. Martha finally broke down, sobbing. My child, Sincere is already gone. You need to snap out of it. Because she was disrupting the service, security started to drag her away. Finally, she knelt on the ground and begged, and everyone agreed to turn a blind eye and let her stay for the rest of my funeral. I looked at my body in the cremator. A ring was still firmly on my finger. It felt like I couldn't even leave this world cleanly. My biggest regret was not being able to finalize the divorce. After the cremation, Victoria tried to grab my ashes, but my mom and dad protected me, refusing to let her take me back to that lonely city. I was laid to rest here, back in the city I knew so well. But my soul was still not free. Seeing her lost and soulless state, I found it bizarre. Victoria, you can make a face like that? I started to laugh. There's no point. You might as well just let me go. I wondered why I was still here, by her side. Was it because the kidney I gave her was still alive inside her body? She couldn't get into my parents' house, and whenever Martha saw her daughter, she was reminded of me. The two of them would sit in growing silence. Before long, Ethan arrived. Vicky, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault his health was poor. Who can you blame for that? Martha's face flushed with anger. It was you seduced my Vicky. If it weren't for you, how could things between her and Sincere have gotten to this point? Victoria shot up from her seat. Mom, what nonsense are you talking about? Ethan was the one who found a kidney for me back then. I'm just grateful to him. A dull ache pulsed in my chest. Ethan found the kidney? But Victoria had never told me that. Not even when I warned her time and again not to get too close to him did she ever say it was because he had donated a kidney to her and she was trying to repay him. Chapter 10. Martha grew agitated. He donated a kidney to you? Ethan quickly cut her off. That's enough, Auntie. Victoria's going through a hard time right now. Martha stared at her daughter with a cold expression, as if she were a stranger. From this day on, you are no daughter of mine. Someone like you doesn't deserve to be Sincere's wife, and you don't deserve to be my daughter. I was confused at first, wondering why her mother would say such things. But I never expected the truth to come so quickly and so cruelly. Ethan said, Sincere was just unlucky. Don't blame yourself. What's important now is our PR problem. We can just pin everything on Sincere. Dead men tell no tales after all. Victoria was silent for a long time before she slumped onto the sofa. Get out, Ethan, and don't ever come looking for me again. Think carefully, is it worth throwing away your bright future for a dead man? If you just cooperate with me, we can reach even greater heights together. All we have to do is say that Sincere forced you. Enough. Sincere is already dead. How much more are you going to degrade him? Victoria shot up, cutting Ethan off. Ethan scoffed. Me degrade him? Weren't you the one degrading him all along? If it weren't for your actions, he wouldn't have died without even telling you. Victoria grabbed her hair, on the verge of a breakdown. I couldn't stand his control. Ethan looked down at her condescendingly. You couldn't stand his control, or you couldn't stand the fact that he gave you a kidney. I never thought that at this point he would choose to tell her the truth. That kidney wasn't... You know the truth better than anyone. You knew Sincere gave you his kidney, yet you subjected him to emotional abuse. You deliberately got close to me to provoke him into divorcing you, didn't you? If he was the one to file for divorce, you could get rid of him without any guilt. Otherwise, you would have been crushed by the weight of that kidney forever. Victoria bit her lips so hard that blood trickled out, but she didn't let up. Ethan continued, I saw you asking the doctor about Sincere's condition after he was hospitalized. But later, when he had finally recovered enough to come see you, you blamed him for not taking care of you while you were sick, all while gushing with gratitude for some fictitious, kind-hearted donor. I was thunderstruck, but thinking back, it made a twisted kind of sense. As the saying goes, a great favor can become a great grudge. She couldn't face the man who was a constant daily reminder of her debt. My very existence was a testament to the fact that she was alive only because of me. From the beginning, I had kept the truth from her precisely because I feared this would happen. To think she knew all along, but it didn't matter anymore. I didn't care. I just wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. Chapter 11. Victoria threw Ethan out. With her own mother turning her back on her, she seemed to remember something and rushed back to our home in the other city. Once inside, she tore the place apart, leaving the entire house in a state of chaos. Finally, in a drawer in my room, she found the ring she had once carelessly discarded. Then I saw her pull out another ring, blackened by fire. She slipped my ring onto the middle finger of her right hand, but it was far too big for her. She wore her own ring on her index finger. The two rings sat side by side, yet they seemed to actively avoid touching each other. I found it almost funny. The thing she once couldn't wait to get away from, she was now desperately trying to put back on. Victoria covered her face with her hands and began to cry softly. Her strength gone, the ash from my ring smudged her tears, making them murky as they trickled down her pale hands. She saw this and took the ring off, trying to clean it carefully, but I had worn it for too long. No matter how much she scrubbed, it would never look as new as hers. Exhausted, Victoria threw herself onto my bed, wrapping herself tightly in my blanket. Sincere, I'm sorry. I watched her call my name over and over, but I felt nothing. After she had gone without food or water for 2 or 3 days, her mother called. What is all this stuff online? There are pictures everywhere of you seducing Ethan Caldwell, hiding the fact that you're a married woman, Victoria. Sincere was so good to you, and you repaid him by cheating on him without a second thought. Victoria shot up at her mother's words, then fell back onto the bed as a wave of dizziness washed over her. She went to the office and found Ethan slamming her phone down in front of him. Ethan Caldwell, didn't I tell you not to drag Sincere's name through the mud? Do you think I don't know what you've been up to? Ethan smiled gently as he walked toward her. Don't be so emotional. To be honest, the moment I first saw you, I knew we were the same kind of people, cold-blooded and heartless. What are you talking about? I'm nothing like you. Ethan pulled out his phone and showed her a video. On the screen, to my horror, was a video of Victoria and Ethan in bed together. See this? Does Sincere know this side of you? Oh, I forgot. You were too afraid to sleep with him, weren't you? I stared in disbelief. I had suspected her, but I had never imagined this. Chapter 12. Sometimes, when she came home after being out for a night or two, I would feel sorry for how tired she looked. When I saw red marks on her neck, I just assumed it was because her skin was sensitive and bruised easily. I never thought. A wave of nausea washed over me. Ethan was certain Victoria wouldn't dare to defy him, afraid he would leak the photos and videos, but he didn't expect that she had nothing left to lose. She opened my laptop, and upon seeing Ethan's social media posts that had been visible only to me, she immediately contacted someone to expose them. She navigated the computer with practiced ease, which only made my heart grow colder. She must have known all along that Ethan was posting those things for me to see. Perhaps she had even allowed it. Right, Ethan had said they were close enough to use each other's phones. Did that mean Victoria had a hand in making those videos? Victoria quickly released her own chat logs as well. In them, I saw Ethan promising to find another kidney donor for me who was a match. In exchange, Victoria had to help him cook the books and sleep with him. Because Victoria had a transplant, it wasn't safe for her to get pregnant. Her mother had made her get her tubes tied before the wedding. I had agreed, not wanting to put any more pressure on her. I never imagined that decision would make things so convenient for her and Ethan. It was a dog-eat-dog fight, and for the first time in a long while I enjoyed watching them tear each other apart. The online reactions were spectacular. I've had my fill of this disgusting drama. I think I'm going to be sick. So her husband gave her his kidney, and she cheated on him, cooked the books with her lover, all to find her husband another kidney. Is this supposed to be some kind of twisted, tragic love story? Bullshit. Don't make this woman out to be some saint. She probably just went along with that Ethan guy to relieve some pressure. I have inside info. Don't think for a second Victoria is some devoted wife. My mom and dad rushed over from our hometown, and even Martha came. They wouldn't even deign to look at Victoria. They brought a lawyer and a few relatives, hauled Victoria to court, and ripped my ring from her hand. The divorce was finalized at lightning speed. I felt free, but it wasn't enough. Looking at my parents, their hair now streaked with white, I felt a pang of sadness and gave them an invisible hug. Victoria and Ethan were taken away by the police. I heard they would be in prison for the rest of their lives. Not long after, in prison, Victoria's kidney began to fail rapidly. On her deathbed, she requested to be buried with me. When my mom heard this request, she let out a bitter laugh. Tell her to get lost, don't let that filthy thing tarnish my son's resting place. Tears of regret streamed down Victoria's face, but my mother rushed to the prison. The kidney inside that woman's body belongs to my son. She must give it back in the end. All ties between Victoria and me were severed completely. I don't know if I'll have a next life, but no matter what, I hope I'll have my eyes open. I hope I'll never again ruin my life for someone who isn't worth it.